Hi Candy and Mom. I am doing a quick video to help you have something to look at when you are doing these yourselves. So I am just quickly rolling it into a ball. And the more perfect the ball, the easier it is to do a round bowl, a round shape, or at least somewhat round. I tend to, even when I do this, I tend to get a square shape. But that's what you have the bowl to do to cut out the round shape, or you can leave it, you know, squarish, oval, whatever. Really, there's no wrong way to pull out one of these bowls. Kind of just have to be flexible because sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. So I lay it there. Sometimes I'll just use my palm, just kind of smush it and just kind of get it going. Then I put 10 cards stacked on each side. That's going to help me get my thickness. You never want to roll off the cards because then that'll give it, that can make it thinner than the actual thickness that you want. So, and then I'll pick it up and I'll move it. See how it's starting to be oval when you first roll it? And now I'm kind of trying to even it out. And you basically keep doing this until, well, that's a good question, until you're this many cards thick. So let me just keep going and I'll show you. See how I turn it again? It's still ovalish. So I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to put my cards up higher. See how it's the thing's getting bigger? So I'm only going to be able to roll half of it kind of at a time because that's the amount of cards I have. So then I'll shift the cards down and I'll do it down. You may notice some ripples. That's probably because you're not putting equal amount of pressure as you're rolling, and you can always roll that out. So even I have it. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, there's some ripples right there. But this is all fixable. And now I'm going back out again. And now I'm coming down. So let me grab a bowl. This is the size bowl. It's pretty big. I mean, just from your viewpoint. And as you can see, my bowl completely eclipses this clay. So it's not quite there yet. And it probably is not going to be with my stack of 10 cards, but that's where the texture for the back is going to come in. So now I'm going to come back down. So see, even though I'm trying to do round, it's a little squarish, it's a little off, but that's okay. So now here's my texture plate. It's kind of fun. Make sure it's clean, obviously. And you know what? We can just do it on top. No, I usually do it on the bottom because I like to put the cards next to it. Make sure the texture is side up. And I'm going to do my whitest on it because it still needs to go this way, up and down. But as you'll see, as I use these cards now and I lift it up this much, it's going to get bigger. So don't do it too hard, just gently. Go back down, halfway down. Go the other side. I don't know if you can tell, but it's growing still. Now again, this still looks a little bit oval. And you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. That's a good saying. So you can see part of this isn't textured, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put it on top and I'll just touch it up to the clay that didn't have it, and I'll just gently roll this on it. You see? Voila! You've got texture on all sides. And I had a little bit down here I didn't quite get. So I will bring my big bowl up to it, and you'll still see that it's not quite, oh, here's what I do. It's a little bit cheating, but you can see that it's kind of longer than wider, so I might just gently pull it out, just a smidge, to try to get it as round as I can, because I'm going to try to do a round bowl. Okay, and then try to center the bowl over it. Some of it's not gonna be out there enough. But what you'll know is when you're putting pressure on it, some of it will squeeze out. We can also, if you want, we can also do less than 10 cards. But what I'm noticing about these bowls is no two are really the same. It's just what it is when you're handmade making something. So I think this is going to be less than circular, but I can kind of fix that when I'm shaping it inside the bowl. So I'm going to lift it up, and you can see that some of the gaps are not quite there as I'd hoped, but we're going to make this work. Now, if you're stubborn and you want it to be perfect and you want it to all look like this, then you might want to start using 9 cards or really working it at the beginning. So here I am. You can see my pattern. You can see where there's excess there. And I will probably trim this. Okay, and I'll show you how. I have this razor blade that I like to use, and it's one of these real thin bendable ones. You can borrow it or you can get one at Hobby Lobby, and I basically curve it to the shape of the bowl and then trim that and then move it around. And here it didn't get done enough, so I might try to eyeball it and just trim some that just doesn't look like it fits in. So those of you out there, Mom, that like exact recipes, this is not one of those. So you're going to have to be okay with how it goes and just make it close. And remember, this is the back side. So I will end up, when I'm happy with it, so it's a decent circle, right? So what I'll do now is flip it back over, and this is where you do your impressions. Oh, I see something that doesn't look great to me. I'll put it up close. It looks a little torn there. So I'll probably use my razor blade again and just very, very slightly trim it off, because I can fix some of it in the bowl, and I'll show you how to do that. So I have a dragonfly stamp, but I actually have a real dragonfly piece of jewelry that's going to be sold with this, and I thought it might be kind of cool to try to see if that makes an impression and see if that works. So I don't like things typically symmetrical. I like them, well, they need to be balanced, but I like it a little bit off center. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's really faint. I love it. Okay, Miss Niece. Okay, I'm back. So now I'll probably do another one, a whole one, but have it kind of going off the side. And with this jewelry, I'm just making sure that I'm kind of rocking it gently. Okay, and now I'll probably do some off the side, because it looks really good going off the bowl. And this is going to be true for any of the bowls you do, any of your stamps. And then maybe even just like a couple wings here. Boop. And it's all about uniform pressure. Do I want to do, so now I'm not sure. I kind of wish I'd had this down a little further. But, oh, let's see, what do I want to do here? Okay, so now this does, I don't like the way this turned out. I wish this was down further to give it some even depth over here. But what I might just do is barely do a leaf, I mean a wing and his head, and then maybe just a wing. Because there's not much distance here, so I don't want to crowd it. Okay, so now you can see I've kind of pressed it out a little bit and it's awkward, it's not round. So again, this is where this little thing comes in handy, because it doesn't really matter how much dragonfly you have. The whole goal is to pretty much have it round, if that's what you're, and look how this thing also does this. It also can kind of clean up any, so this razor blade comes in handy, as does something like this. Candy, you have some of this, these things that are used to like make a tight seal. You can borrow this. I'll show you how I'm going to use it next. Okay, so now I'm going to peel it up gently. And now here's the bowl I'm going to be doing my work in. I'm sorry it's so close to the camera, but I have no other way of putting my camera. One problem that I've seen and is that when I put this in, sometimes there's an air pocket created underneath. So you really have to make sure you get all the air out. And see also, see how I'm making sure that I'm putting it in equal on the bowl? Because you can get it or you can get it kind of wampus, and then one side's taller than the other. Now I'm having this problem where my bowl is not fitting. It's like there's too much clay for the size of this bowl. So it's kind of like two ways, like your thing's not big enough to cut out the circle, and yet when you have cut out the circle, when you put it in, it's not smoothly going out to the sides, which made me do a bowl like this. This is one I did earlier, which is kind of cool. Just kind of go with the flow. So I may end up doing another one of these since my clay seems to be pretty thick. Let's see what happens here. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but a little bit of extra clay gone on there, so make sure you get it off. Same on the back. Ooh. So some flattening has gone on. But let's just see how to go. Let's see how we can do it. All right, here we go. I'm putting it in the middle. I'm hoping that everything is smooth on the bottom. Now I think if I press this, or I press this, it's gonna go, it's not gonna look good. Okay, so I'm going to call that good, because if I smash that down, it's gonna ruin this whole bowl. All right, so next thing I do is I take this, make sure the end is clean without clay, and then I take it and I basically try to smooth out and flatten the edge. These ones are a little harder, the little puckers are harder, because you can actually make it collapse. So be very gentle. You can always fix this a little bit more when you sand it at the end. Okay, okay. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm leaving this the way it is. I just love the way things work out. I don't like forcing things, and I like the way that fold is a little bit asymmetrical. And notice how the dragonfly is on it? It's kind of cool, right? Okay, so I'm going to kind of press one more time down, make sure there's no air bubbles in here, because that basically ruined the last one I did. I didn't catch it. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is bake it at 275 for 15-20 minutes. And when it kind of comes cool to the touch, you probably want to get it out of the bowl and then let it cool fully before you sand it. All right, I'll show you the sanding and the painting next. All right, bye Candy, bye Mom.